Hey there, want to know a cool fact? Kids are stupid. With their underdeveloped microbrains, they'll consume whatever movies, books, or games are slapped in their faces. But wait, I used to be a kid. Was I stupid too? I got it! As a child, you don't understand what well-crafted design looks like. So now that my adult brain is completely developed, I'm gonna replay 3 of my favorite childhood games and find out if they were good or garbage. There's no better way to start this list than my first ever video game on my first ever console, TMNT for the DS. TMNT was my SHIT, from the original cartoons, to the live action costumes, and to my favorite, the edgy CGI turtles. I loved how many art styles these guys had, but a new art medium that I didn't comprehend yet was video games. Because when I found out they made a game based off my favorite movie, my brain exploded. Because this was the only game I had at the time, the moment that I would beat it, I would immediately start from the beginning. But even though I played this game a ton, I hardly remember anything from it. Probably because, I don't know, it's been 17 years since I've played it. The only things that I vaguely remember are some sort of mechanic where you can swap between the brothers and Mikey skateboarding through the sewers. So I'm super excited to replay this game and have all the memories flood back to me. The memories didn't flood back to me. Those 2 vague memories of mine, yeah, those weren't even in this game. There isn't a system to switch between the turtles, and this is the closest thing I got to Mikey skateboarding through the sewers. I didn't realize it was a possibility that my little baby brain couldn't retain a single part of this game. I felt like a generic RPG character with amnesia. I should have expected this coming from, the first ever game I owned, but I didn't. So let's find out why I spent so much time playing this game. All of the classic arcade turtle games are beat-em-ups, and this game is too. Kinda. You play as 5 different characters throughout this game. Leo, Donnie, Mikey, Raph, and the Night Watcher. Who, spoilers for a 17-year-old movie, Raph is the Night Watcher.
No, I was gonna watch that.
The controls are super simple. Press B to hit, press B 3 times for a combo, and hold B for a charge attack. This is pretty ordinary for the franchise, except now, instead of the entire experience being jam-packed full of action, it's broken up into 2 parts. Combat and platforming. I don't know if there's a term for this, but I would describe this game as an automatic platformer. What I mean is, you are incapable of jumping unless you see a blue glow. If you do, you can jump using one of 3 buttons: Y to go left, X to go forward, and A to go right. Because of this system, you can't miss jumps. If you press the wrong button, then, well, you press the right button. I thought the movement was pretty satisfying in certain sections, but I did have a problem with the platforming being so linear that it restricted any chances of exploring the levels. But hold on a second, what if I said this? What about this? Once I realized exploration was just breaking random barrels, I opted for the speedrun route, and I had a blast tearing through the 15 missions in this game. After you finish a mission, you're met with the results screen. There's a handful of these super great medals, but the ones that I want to talk about are these 2. The first shows how fast you beat the level, and the second shows if you found all of those Donkey Kong Country letters. If you think about it, these 2 statistics are completely opposite of each other. If you blow through the levels at sonic speeds, then you're gonna get a gold timer, but no letters. And if you play with the intention of collecting these letters, then you're likely not to finish within the deadline. I really like this feature because it rewards the player for their own playstyle, and these gold medals were just the validation that I needed. Just like how all of the turtles have the same moveset, all the main bosses do too. They have an echo projectile, a dash that you can dodge by pressing A, and a super jump that you can dodge by pressing A. They're all really easy. I would just trap him in a corner and wail on him.
Fight back! Fight back!
The final boss functions the exact same way. He's got this eagle that goes like... But he doesn't just use this move once or twice. It reminds me of when kids play Smash for the first time, play Kirby, and spam up B every 2 seconds. Like, I get it, cut it out, please! Down to my last life, I felt hopeless. But in my desperation, I looked at the bottom screen and thought that it was strange that the Koopas were doing nothing but staring at me. Menacingly. But there was something else. A button that I haven't pressed until now. Something epic! Huh. So that's what I got swapping between the turtles confused with as a kid. Well, with that, TMNT for the DS has been completed. It was fun to revisit a game that I've spent so much time with, even if I didn't retain any of it. Eventually, my TMNT craze dwindled and I sold the game for $0.25 at GameStop. But as I grew older, I dashed to a new obsession. I was hooked the moment that I sprung into this franchise. Even when the moon was out, I was thinking of this game. That's because the second game on this list is Sonic Unleashed. I have always loved Sonic, from the games, to the shows, to the clothes. But my absolute favorite way to consume Sonic content were the comics. These were way past cool. I loved reading stories about Sonic that you couldn't find anywhere else. After I ran out of money spending it on these books, I decided to start writing them myself. Get ready to fire, droids, now!
Fire what, Doctor? Yeah, fire what?
To destroy all people.
Like Chris?
Chris too.
But we love Chris.
Never say that.
You are not gonna destroy all people, Eggman.
Sonic?
Sonic!
Don't have time.
Darn.
Man.
What I do have time for is to kick Eggman's butt.
Maybe I like this guy a little bit too much, but my obsession was just getting started, because on Christmas 2009, I wasn't a kid anymore. I received my darkest and edgiest game yet. I mean, it had blood. Animated blood. When booting up this game as an 8-year-old, I couldn't fathom how a cutscene could be so intense.
Oh my god.
Whoa! Oh, what? Boom!
Dun, 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 dun.
Huh? What? Get out of there, Sonic! What is that? Oh my god! No! Sonic! No! No, don't! This game was perfect for me at the time. It was my one and only obsession. I never beat it. You see, like most kids, my reflexes weren't completely developed yet. So in the final level of this game, when you're required to input buttons in the correct order under a strict time limit, my brain completely... So not only am I super excited to replay this game to see if it's actually good, but I'm finally gonna put my 8-year-old self to rest. This game is so good, dude! Listen to this music! It amplifies the gameplay so well! And the levels, masterful. Finishing these levels and getting an E rank makes you go, what? I gotta go again! So you play more and more so you can learn the level more and more until... Sweet! I didn't realize what true nostalgia could feel like. With TMNT, it was way too long ago to have a real connection to it. But this felt like I was reuniting with an old friend. It just so happens that that same friend stole all your toys and chewed on them. You see, hidden underneath all that pure joy that this game has to offer, there are some big problems that I cannot overlook. This game was super controversial when it came out, and it's all thanks to this guy. Everyone knows that Sonic's gotta go fast, so you can imagine everyone's confusion when half of the game is a slow beat 'em up. Nobody asked for this to be implemented into a Sonic game, it's just so opposite. The difference is what some may call night and day? These Werehog stages open up opportunities that the franchise has never had before, like in-depth level exploration, combat, and epic boss battles. Except this one might be the worst boss I've ever experienced. For me, these Werehog stages were super refreshing coming from TMNT. By taking advantage of the slow-paced level navigation, they give you the opportunity to meticulously explore, finding hidden areas and collectibles, something that you would never be able to do in regular Sonic levels. Finding things that not every player will experience is extremely rewarding and makes you feel smart and cool and epic and awesome. But this is where me and the game come to an unavoidable disagreement. They did something so blasphemous that I will never be able to look at it the same. They made collectibles mandatory. You see, there are sun and moon medals scattered throughout the world. At first glance, they just seem like a fun little thing to snag, rewarding you for sticking your schnoz somewhere you didn't need to. But out of nowhere, this game's momentum is murdered when you head to the next stage and it tells you that you're not allowed to play anymore. All those times that you felt smart for finding something cool, well, no. Everyone has to do that. You're not special. And that's really lame. In my opinion, collectibles should be completely optional. If you don't feel like exploring areas, you shouldn't get punished for that decision later on. Well, the quest of finding more sun medals begins. Replaying 30-minute Werehog stages isn't very fun to do, so maybe I can find some in the daytime stages. All right, there we go. Oh, I think I saw one. Let me go back. Right, Cool, got it. It feels natural to explore when you're this guy, but slowing down while you're this guy feels so awkward. The overlying theme of Sun and Moon gives reason to these polar opposite gameplay styles, but contrasting reality, there isn't really a balance between these two themes. If blasting through an epic daytime stage jam-packed full of excitement only takes 5 minutes, it doesn't make any sense to spend triple or even quadruple that time on these levels. But hold on, what if they utilize both day and night in the same level? That'd be weird. They would never do something like that. This level's genius! Welcome to Eggman Land, the level that I was never able to complete as a kid. I was finally back to take my revenge from all those years ago. So how can you make a level that combines two polar opposite gameplay styles still work? I think I figured out the formula. Bear with me here. Or should I say, wear with me here. Daytime stages have some things that will never happen in a nighttime stage, and vice versa. But what do both have in common? Well, they both have platforming, and they both have level navigation. But here's the thing. In daytime stages, level navigation doesn't really work because of how fast you're going. And in nighttime stages, platforming is sluggish and meticulous. All of the quick platforming in the previous Sonic stages has been removed, leaving more tactical movement throughout, matching the speed of the platforming in Werehog stages. And because there are no more Sun or Moon medals to collect, level exploration has been removed. This gives the player the okay to barrel through enemies and not be afraid of missing anything, matching the mindset of Sonic levels. Eggman Land! This level really is a bunch of fun, but we're not done yet. It's time for the jump. This game has been preparing you for this moment. From the boss battles, to the jump pads, and the boring airplane rail shooter missions. It all comes down to this. Will I be able to surpass my past self, or did I peak all those years ago?
Feeling good.
Cool. It was as simple as that. But 17 years later, I can finally say that I've put this game to rest. Being the main character of a story about putting Earth back together is one of the most immersive experiences an 8-year-old could ask for, and solidified a passion for my lifelong hobby, playing video games. But I wasn't just a complete loser. I had other hobbies, like playing Bakugan by myself. Out of all the Japanese card games, Bakugan was my favorite one. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were cool, but I was magnetized towards physically owning the creatures. I think the coolest thing about this franchise was how you played it. Other card games were way too complicated for me to comprehend, but Bakugan? I never really cared to learn how. I got my fix playing alone, rolling them as far as I could onto the card. But just because I didn't truly know how to play the game, that didn't stop me from having a blast. With every popular franchise, it was a given that there would be a video game made after it. So in 2009, the first Bakugan game was released. I loved the show as a kid. So when I found out that you can add yourself into the campaign, in the story mode, you compete against other players in tournaments, buy and upgrade Bakugan in the shop, and that's about it. But for this game, I'm actually not going to be playing the story. Let me explain. I was introduced to Battle Brawlers by my best friend in 2nd grade, and we played this game every time we would go to his house after school. But we didn't play with each other. It was against each other. This game wasn't my first experience competing with the player, but it helped me realize how good it felt to dominate your opponents. Because of this, the only reason why I played the story was to get better when I would verse my friend. And that's why instead of playing the story, I'm gonna be rematching my friend from all those years ago. And together, we're gonna find out if this game was actually good. Bakugan's a very simple game, so we decided to do a best of 5 without remembering anything, trying out every map and every character. No way could a game aimed towards children be that difficult.
What is the jump?
Come on! Did I just disintegrate?
Come on, dude. No way kids play this. This is too hard.
It's first to 3 points. You get points by either winning in a battle or landing 2 of your Bakugan on the same card. But before landing on a card, it's best to roll around and collect Gs and items to help you in battle. But that's the hard part. A majority of this game's difficulty is thanks to the Wiimote's motion controls. You can jump, speed up, drift, steer in midair, and reverse all using motion. But don't even think about getting used to it, because every Bakugan has different stats that affect their movement. When both opponents land on the same card, they start a battle. But before fighting, you can use cards to boost your Gs and prepare for one of 3 minigames. There's the Aim Labs minigame. In this one, you gotta shoot your own token, but they also throw in these golden tokens which wipe the entire board and give you all the points. There's my favorite, the Donkey Konga minigame, but out of the 2 hours that we recorded, we only got to play it twice, so that was kinda lame. And finally, the shaking minigame, where you're physically demanded to shake the remote as fast as you can. Sometimes it tells you to stop though. Why? Why are we edging it? Don't shake.
Good boy, shake.
The Bakugan designs are amazing, the music is bumping, but my favorite part of this game are the stages. Since we didn't play the story, we only had 5 maps to choose from: water, fire, earth, wind, and light. Every stage has different level navigation and made finding new areas so exciting. Oh. Whoa!
Not fair.
Really? Why would they do that? Dude, this is for professionals.
I do think that this game would have heavily benefited from larger levels though, because once you find a good route, doing it every single time can be a bit repetitive. But as long as this game gives kids the opportunity to visualize their epic Bakugan battles, then that's all it really needs to do. After 4 games of elegant, professional gameplay, we were all tied up. And before we knew it, it was conveniently down to the very last battle. Wumbsy gracefully lands his Griffon, initiating battle with my Falconeer. But despite his raw swagger, I would not be deterred. It was a completely even battle, 720 to 720. All there was left to do was shake. Gah! Immediately my back was against the wall. The pressure was so intense. He's so talented. It seemed futile to go forward. I've lost. An opening! Now's my chance!
Oh! Dude, no way! That was out of nowhere.
And just like that, our best of 5 was settled. We both had a ton of fun reliving our childhood, and I'm extremely grateful that we had the opportunity to play this game again 15 years later. But hold on. I titled the video, "Were our favorite childhood games actually good?" So what if you've never played TMNT, or Sonic, or Bakugan? Here's the thing. I picked these 3 games for a very specific reason. To me, TMNT wasn't just a video game, it was action-packed movies illustrating how many unique and creative art styles there are. To me, Sonic wasn't just a video game, it was an epic comic book series teaching me that I had a passion for drawing and creating my own stories. And to me, Bakugan wasn't just a video game, it taught me to disintegrate anyone who stands in my path with no mercy. But most importantly, it taught me that I didn't have to play a certain way to have fun. That's why it doesn't matter what you played as a child. Every game you were drawn towards acted as an extension of your passions into a virtual world that would have been impossible to experience with just movies, or comic books, or toys. Some of you may have noticed that I didn't include the finale of Sonic Unleashed in this video, but that's where you come in. I encourage all of you to revisit the passions from your childhood that may have been cut short. Maybe it's completing that game you never beat, picking back up an old hobby, or finally finishing that comic book series. Because those experiences, the ones that shaped us, inspired us, and made us who we are, will never go away. They'll always be there, waiting for you to return.